As the journey to revisit everything from my childhood continues, today we land on the 90s classic, Little Bear. Why, you ask? Well, last year I made a video on this little hellspawn named Caillou.
You crazy idiot!
It kinda went viral. It did 1 million some odd views and accumulated several thousands of comments. Amongst these replies, I couldn't help but notice hundreds of people recommending that I cover a particular show. You've never watched Little Brown Bear before. You should watch Little Brown Bear. What about Little Brown Bear? Hey, fuck you, do Little Brown Bear next. Naturally, I got to thinking, why does everybody want me to review this Little Brown Bear so badly? I mean, it was a classic, but why the popular demand all of a sudden? Then I put it together. Let me guess, another bare minimum effort reboot incoming, right? To me, it seems these networks are lazier than they've ever been, and they've decided to rest on their laurels. For the past decade or so, we've been stuck in an era I like to call reboot hell. Instead of using any type of effort and creating new IPs, companies go and grab a successful project from the past, give it a new coat of paint, and attempt to rake in millions. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue, Inspector Gadget, Fairly Odd Parents, Sonic Boom, Teen Titans Go, and Powerpuff Girls.
Party time!
3 words: elementary school. The Powerpuff Girls are in better yet, they're in kindergarten. What the kind of crack were they smoking when they gave this the okay? But I digress. Back to the topic at hand. I heard this is the new cool thing everyone is doing, so I decided to ask AI if there's a Little Bear reboot I should be aware of. Now, since AI is incompetent and will eventually kill us all, it directed me to this show called Pom-Pom Little Bear. This show aired in the UK and has nothing to do with the 90s classic. I was misled. F you, AI. So back to my old-fashioned Google. And no reboot was made and no reboot in sight. But I did bump into this show called Little Brown Bear. I mean, it does have the same title that everyone was commenting on my page. How could I have been so blind? You guys didn't want me to review this Little Brown Bear. You wanted me to review this Little Brown Bear. Well, closed mouths don't get fed. You ask and you shall receive. Let me check this thing out.
But I'm not cold. I want to stay outside. No, not those toys. No, Daddy, leave me alone. I don't want to. You're a nasty kitty. I don't like you anymore. You're not my friend. But I'm fed up with cleaning up my room all the time. With you, I can never play.
Unfortunately, I don't get to review this Little Brown Bear today. This show was a classic. It was created by Maurice Sendak and Elsa Minerick back in 1995. It was a wholesome little cartoon about a brown bear named Little Bear. He went on adventures with his human friend Emily and their animal buddies, hen, duck, owl, and cat. To my recollection, it was a great show for kids that taught lessons and encouraged using your imagination. Something tells me the show I'm about to embark on is none of the above. Maybe one day in the future I'll properly cover this show. As for today, my mission is to look into this Little Brown Bear. Little Brown Bear is a French animated series that was later dubbed in English. It aired on the Canadian network Teletoon back in 2003. The show stars this little brown-eyed bear who can sometimes be a handful, to say the least. If I had to give one compliment, it would be that they stayed true to the source material. Originally, Little Brown Bear was a series of terrible books created by Claude Lebrun. The books, they were seriously awful, and the protagonist was a piece of shit. Seriously, there was a book titled Little Brown Bear Says No to Everything. Literally on every single page, the little brown bastard says no to everything. It's time to clean up, said Mama. No. I told you to clean up. No, I'm still driving my car. Come wash your hands. No, my hands are not dirty. Do you want to eat? No. Do you want to play? No. Do you want to take your shoes off? No. Do you wish to live? No. Okay, I got caught up in the moment. That part didn't really happen. So yeah, the books were dreadful, but they made so many of them I was honestly confused. I checked out some reviews and they all shared the same sentiments as Megan's 1-star write-up over here. Long story short, Little Brown Bear is a little brown asshole. So naturally, some group of sick fucks gathered together and said, hey, let's turn that terrible book into a terrible cartoon. And that's how we ended up with this.
No, I don't want to go home. I want a cake.
So Little Brown Bear lives in an unnamed town that is straight up racist. They don't even try to hide it. Aside from mom and dad, nobody has names. They literally refer to the characters in accordance to their appearance. So there's a little brown bear, a little white bear, black, red, and even little beige bear. Could you imagine that translating to the real world? Walking up to someone saying, hey, big fat black man, or how are you big lip skinny white girl? Nah, it wouldn't fly. Now, my main issue with this is the fact it's a pointless show. And not pointless like dumb, but pointless like they could have saved their time and money. People were actually paid to make this. What was the point in hiring all these people to make something so brain dead? This show is just a sequence of events. In Little Brown Bear, stuff just happens. They speak a few words of dialogue, then boom, roll credits. Each story has no beginning, no middle, no end, no conflict, and most importantly, no resolution. This show literally never has a resolution. For example, in episode 48, it's rainy outside and Little Brown Bear is bored. His mom tells him to help out with some chores. He helps her bake a cake. Then he helps her out with the laundry. Then he tries to vacuum. Mom isn't too pleased with his cleaning skills and tells him to smarten up. Little Brown Bear flat out tells her because she complains too fucking much, he's done helping her.
I'm only trying to help you and you keep complaining. I'm stopping.
Okay, I see where this is going. Normally I try to be a bit suspenseful or whatever, try to catch you guys off guard. But to hell with that. This little bitch has it coming. Damn it, it's time to bring back the belt. I'm gonna use this counter and play this sound every time this badass little brown bastard is begging to get his ass beat. Episode 13 should have been banned for its title alone.
Little Brown Bear argues with his mommy.
It's rainy outside, and Little Brown Bear is bored yet again. The blockhead sneaks out and starts gardening in the middle of a storm. Mother Bears tells him come back inside before he catches a cold. Little Bear immediately loses his cool and calls her all kinds of names while telling her that she's horrible.
Now listen, that is enough.
You're so horrible. Really horrible.
Mother has no backbone, so instead of disciplining the bird brain, she just storms off. Even after Mother admitted defeat, Little Bear keeps attacking.
You're so mean, you're so mean, you're so mean!
Triple combo!
Time passes and, like I mentioned before, no resolution. Mother offers him some pie and they just chill out and eat. Now, surprisingly, this isn't the only episode where he tells his mom off. In episode 7, the bratty bear and his mom head to the bakery for a loaf of bread. The glutton boy gets sidetracked by a cake in the window. He asks his mom to buy him a whole cake, and she politely declines. He then throws a tantrum and accuses her of neglect because she allegedly never buys him anything. After Mother says no for the 3rd time, Little Bear calls her the dreaded H word.
I want a cake right now. You're horrible, you are.
That's enough, Little Bear.
Mother has to drag him out of the shop as he's kicking and screaming. She's fed up and just decides to leave her son. Yeah, good for him. This freeloader's old enough. Time to leave the nest and fend for yourself. Along comes an old creep and starts a conversation with the newly homeless bear. Little Bear notices the dangers of the real world and decides he's not quite ready to leave home. He runs back to the safety of his mother and dances happily with no resolution yet again. In episode 31, Papa Bear is running late for work. Instead of staying out of his path or helping in any sort of way, Little Bear starts pulling and ripping his dad's coat. Father Bear has to wrestle the coat away from his relentless son and ends up spilling coffee on the walls. Little Bear wants to apologize for his sins, so he tells his mother he wants to paint a card for Dad. Mama Bear sets up the workstation and then abandons her son for an important call. A booty call, I assume, because mom is super irritable.
And how many times have I told you not to bother me when I'm on the phone?
Little Brown Bear wasn't too fond of his mother's tone, so he decides to get revenge. While unattended, he spills paint, dips his hand in it, and goes to town on the walls. When mother finishes, she comes out the room to discover her son has destroyed the home. Then the sarcastic prick taunts her, knowing that dad is gonna be pissed when he gets off of work.
Yes, this will make Daddy so happy and he'll have less work to
Little
do.
Bear, this is ridiculous.
And I swear to you, the episode just ends like that. Fade to black with no resolution. Again. I don't know how much more of this shit I can take. Honestly, guys. Episode 32 is the worst of them all. Nobody has honor. Nothing makes sense. They treat a little girl like a piece of meat. No resolution. Nothing. Little Brown Bear goes to school to find his friend, Little Beige Bear, hanging out with his girlfriend, Little Gray Bear. He decides to be a homewrecker and literally snatches her away. He's walking her over to the Lego blocks when she says she wants to do a puzzle instead. Instantaneously, the simp Little Beige Bear pops up with a puzzle in hand. Little Brown Bear doesn't take kindly to blocking and wrestles the puzzle away from his friend.
But I was playing with Little Gray Bear first.
Hey, give me back my puzzle!
The two homies go to war and the teacher is forced to break it up. Later on, Little Brown Bear is doing arts and crafts with his new girlfriend. He shows her a picture of a king and queen to show her what life can be like if she settles for him. At afternoon recess, the Little Beige Blocker offers Little Gray Bear some marbles, so she dumps the brown bozo on the spot. That's when the teacher approaches and asks him what's wrong. He whimpers like a coward as he tells the teacher that Little Gray Bear doesn't love him.
Little Gray Bear won't play with me. She doesn't love me anymore.
That's right. Nobody does. The teacher forces everyone inside because it's time for a healthy snack. Little Gray Bear grabs the lucky slice of cake, which means she gets to be queen for the day. She's also given the opportunity to crown her king. Even though she's now dating Beige Bear, she makes Little Brown Bear her husband for no apparent reason. Little Beige Bear even cheers him on, and then the end. This show has scarred me. I've had enough. I'm done. I'm over beers. I don't want to hear the word beer anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm done drinking beers. This show makes me want to play Red Dead Redemption. Now, I thought Caillou was bad, and it is. It's terrible. But Little Brown Bear is hands down the worst cartoon I've ever laid eyes on. And I owe all the thanks in the world to you guys in the comments section. You got me good. You tricked me into watching this pile of shit. Thank you. Thanks a lot. There's a special place reserved for you in the pits of hell. This show leaves me no hope in humanity. 53 people were paid an annual salary to gather together and come up with this horse shit. And yes, I counted. We're done for. We're doomed.
We're doomed!
You may think I'm over-exaggerating, but I'm not. I grew up on Little Bear. I turned out all right. Next generation had Dora. They did okay. The following generation had Peppa Pig. Those iPad babies are currently running amok. But yeah, notice a trend here? Continuously downhill. I was already fearful of this current generation of kids leading us into the future. But this show is currently going viral. What about the 4-year-olds who are at home right now watching Little Brown Bear like, hey, this is a great show? It's not. It's not. And they're gonna grow up to be f***ed up individuals.
We're doomed!
Little Brown Bear has zero redeeming qualities. And in all honesty, it shouldn't exist. It teaches kids to whine, be bratty, yell at your parents, and call people horrible. To the creators of this trash, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Please, I beg you all to stay far, far away from this. Doctor's orders. I hate Little Brown Bear. Kids hate Little Brown Bear. Everybody hates Little Brown Bear. And rightfully so. And that's it for today, guys. If you're still watching, I consider you my people, and I appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and consider subscribing. I have a bunch of other videos you might find interesting. Until next time, chase your dreams and do what you love. I'm the Doctor, signing out. Gimme my music. I move in the nighttime. Shit, everything I do in the nighttime. Make one turn two in the nighttime. Zoom from that bright light. Move by my right side. Crew in the spot and it's like 2 o'clock. Wrist never been in cuffs. Evident.